Hello there. Welcome to you. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Then we have three very important topics in tonight's live chat. Who commented, special welcomes to Mesgan. Yes, yes, second viewer. Ehsan Siddiqui joined. Welcome, Ehsan. Ehsan is an Asian. I think he's from India, but he is working in Ethiopia. He has been working in Ethiopia. Med Abduali, Mikhail, Tamine Dogna, the Epic, Ethio, Daniel Abate, Abdi Hassan, Ambassador Mulugata Ziudi. Where have you worked as ambassador? Kirubil Ephraim here. Aman Washe, first member who joined tonight is Aman Washe. DSG is the second member who joined. Warm welcome to both members. Good to be with you. Wonderful Ayale, Iyaso, the Epic, STT, Armin Hagos, Ethio, Daniel Abate joined after a long time. How are you, Daniel? Daniel watching me since the start of Tigray war. He has been very helpful. Abdi Hassan, Segin Hadira, Tisfai Hagos, Mihari joined too from Tigray. Welcome, Mihari. We have Alvan, Unsif Tube joined too. Thank you, Unsif Tube, for appreciating my work. Abdul Qadir Ahmed here. Hassan Abdo. Janale Media says, best journalist. Thank you, Janale Media. Your appreciation matters a lot for me. Nasruddin, Ginanneo. Yes, he's asking a question about Ethiopian economy. How is it affecting, how the conflict is affecting the economy? Abisa Gilana here. Yeah, Aman, you're on time tonight. Melissa Biro, Dark Star, Ambassador Mulugata, worked in Khartoum, then in Abidjan. But I would advise you to change your name. Don't disclose your identity. T&O here, a member. Special welcome, T&O. I would just ask Isan to change his screen name. If Isan is your real name, change it. Because you should not use your real names while attending my live chats and making comments. Or you should be silent viewers, because the channel is monitored by the government people. Some people got into trouble, I know. They were in touch with me, their communication with me were intercepted by the government. One is in prison. So that's why I don't want to put you in trouble. Watch me, comment, but don't uh, use your real name. Always use a pen name. T&O says there is war between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Well, most of the news about Pakistan I hear from you people, honestly. Hassan Ali here, Mickey and Guy and Gida, Endo, about Foggy, Bebesfao here. Bebesfao says, I expected myself to be your permanent supporter of your channel. I'm from Eastern Hararge. Thank you, Abebe. The best support you can give me is through provision of information. If you provide information to me, that's the biggest support for me. David Ende, Bay William here. Bay William says, wrong information you spread. There was no fighting among Fano groups in Volo. I'll address that, don't worry. We have the Northerner here. Interesting. Any news on Trump's Egypt visit? So far, nothing new. Trump's advisor said today that Egypt and Ethiopia should solve the issue of GERD through technical talks. It's a technical issue, not a political issue. Interesting comments, by the way. Egypt, I think, is trying its best. Egypt knows that war between Israel and Hamas is over, and it's the time to use Trump against Ethiopia. He'll try his best. Let's see. I have three main topics for you in tonight's live chat. Firstly, good news for Fano fighters. Secondly, an update from Tigray, where Tigray fighters confronted a major channel there, refused to open a road there. And thirdly, my report confirmed. Several weeks ago, I told you that Somaliland President Abdurrahman Ero was going to visit Ethiopia. Preparations have been ongoing since then. Now confirmed, Abdurrahman Ero is in Addis Ababa. We'll talk about that. Mehari is asking question about protests in Tigray. Okay, let's talk about the topics one by one. Thank you, Beatam, for joining. Thank you, Bethlehem Tishome. Mehrit Dugnao joined. Welcome, Mehrit. Thank you for appreciating me. Tamirat Girme here. Welcome, Tamirat. Let's start with a new story about Somaliland president. Mitiko says, how much is it to become a member? Well, membership is not very expensive. I think it's $1 or $2 maybe. There are 3 tiers, by the way: basic, intermediate, advanced. You can choose a tier of your choice, which you can afford. But all these tiers, I think, or maybe $1 per month, $2 or $3, and then there is next tier. So there are different tiers. Uh, you can pick the tier which you afford. No, Beatam, I'll share with you about the pictures. Thank you, S, for joining. S is a member too. Special welcome, S, to you. So, my report, which I did several months ago about Abdurrahman Ero's visit of Ethiopia, has been confirmed. And months ago, I reported that Somaliland president was reconsidering his government's position about uh, MOU. Now, home media says government is seriously looking for your source's identity. You should be careful. Well, I never disappointed my sources since 2020. Not a single source of my views and news has been captured by the government. Uh, some people are in prison, but they were arrested because of other acts, not because of the information which I leaked. So my record, I think, is perfect. Source is pretty comfortable with me. But I know that government people, they monitor the channel. That's why I'm saying you don't use your real names. Always use pen names. Whenever you talk to me in live chats, in comment section, always use pen names. So months ago, I said that Somalian president was going to visit Ethiopia. Why? Back then, Abdurrahman Ero was having second thoughts. Rock of Liberty joined. Welcome, Rock of Liberty is a member too. You know that when Ero became the president last year in November, Ero backed off from the MOU. MOU was signed by his predecessor, Musibe Abdi. Ethiopia did not implement the MOU. It dragged its feet. Musibe Abdi kept on pressing. Abiy did not comply. Musibe Abdi lost election. And one of the reasons behind his defeat in the election was the failure to implement MOU with Ethiopia. When Abdurrahman Ero became the president, he was not interested in implementing the MOU. And he said that why should we? His ministers said that it is going to be risky. Because if you remember, Somalia was threatening to impose a blockade of Somaliland, blockade of the airspace of Somaliland. Somalia was imposing other restrictions towards Somaliland. So when president backed off, but a lot has happened in the last few months. Three things happened which are pushing Somaliland towards Ethiopia. Which three things? Firstly, Somaliland's efforts to gain recognition as a country from the US have failed. When Trump came to power, Somaliland hoped that, thank you, Haima, Somaliland hoped that Trump government will give recognition to Somaliland. And some statements came by US Republican lawmakers, but no progress made. US has the same policy, one Somalia policy. Firstly. Secondly, Sool and parts of Sanag, eastern part of Somaliland, which has been seeing a conflict it became part of Somalia. It became a state of Somalia, and formally it joined Somalia. And it happened after Abdurrahman Ero became the president. Now, a third development is happening. Somalia is now backing an armed movement in Western Somaliland, which is Odal. It wants Odal to join Somalia. Odal shares border with Ethiopia and Djibouti. So Somaliland knows that gradually it is being engulfed by Somalia. That is why Ero is now looking towards Ethiopia. He is in Addis Ababa. He arrived in Addis this evening. What will the two sides discuss? A day before Ero's visit, Hassan Sheikh landed in Ethiopia on an emergency visit. It wasn't planned. He held meeting with PM Abiy, discussions were held, nothing made public. He returned. Now Ero here. Ero's visit is very crucial, I believe. I think that Ero will talk to PM Abiy about the MOU. This time, he will show interest in activation of the MOU. Maybe limited activation or reconsideration of MOU. So let's wait. Let's wait for 24 hours. Hopefully, we'll get information from the inside, and then we'll brief you about this visit. So Hassan Sheikh's visit, Ero's visits are very crucial. Maybe they will set the tone for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa for coming months. Rock of Liberty says you deserve much more, Mr. Sadi. Thank you, Rock of Liberty. Pilawil is asking a question saying, why would Abiy have Somalia president one day, then Somaliland the next? Well, it means that both Somalia and Somaliland are trying to make offers to Ethiopia. Both want to be close to Ethiopia. Abiy should behave like a good statesman. He should gauge, compare the offer through two sides. He should analyze pros and cons, and then he should make a decision. Obviously, both sides are trying to woo Ethiopia. They want Ethiopian support. So we'll have to wait, but I think it's a good time for the Ethiopian government, Ethiopian PM to play its cards well. Last time, I think they took their time too much. This time, I think you could see Somaliland maybe agreeing to give Ethiopia a lot. If Ethiopia has the heart to implement the MOU. Let me welcome Samuel H. Mariam. Samuel is a member, but this is the first time in months that I'm seeing him. Special welcome, Samuel. Samuel says, where is Fano now? Seems to be in hiding. ENDF took action and no more photo operations. Well, firstly, you know that I was going to do a live chat on an analysis of Fano's withdrawal or retreat from Wollo and other parts of Amhara. But I changed the topic. Why? Because just a few hours ago, I received reports about leakage of a plan by Fano during Wollo operation. I'm working on it. So hopefully I'll host a live chat about this topic tomorrow. Then I'll explain what happened, what is happening now. So give me 24 hours. Hopefully, I'll share complete analysis with you, unbiased, neutral. I have no interest in backing or opposing Fano, in supporting or opposing the government. But my only job, my only concern is that my viewers should be updated. They should not be deceived by anyone. I should give them the right information. Let's talk about Fano now, viewers, and then at the end, uh, I will share with you what is happening in Tigray, where discussions have been held between soldiers and military commanders. Three demands were made by Tigray soldiers. So, what is the response of the generals? All that a little later. Fano. Uh, as I said earlier, I'll speak in detail about Fano's activities, Fano's operation involving in tomorrow's live chat. But just a few comments about what I reported about Fikro Molia, a Fano commander who was allegedly attacked by two other Fano commanders. Then a statement was issued. AFNF issued a statement explaining what happened in Moja. Later, the statement was withdrawn. Rather, AFNF says that it did not issue any statement. Though I have not heard about Fantao, but AFNF supporters say that AFNF did not issue any statement about the fighting between Fikro Molia and Lasta Samino Brigade. But if no fighting happened between Fikro Molia and Lasta Samino Brigade, why is Fikro silent? Fikro could have appeared. He could have given an interview. All day, these YouTubers take Fano commanders on phone, and their audio audio messages are released. Why is that Fikro is still silent? If nothing happened in Moja, if there was no clash between Fikro and other AFNF, he should just appear and tell the people. He is silent. Let's wait. The statement by AFNF, which AFNF people say that it's not from the organization, was issued yesterday. No one said a word. When I did a video, then came a denial from some AFNF supporters. But let's wait for Fikro to speak, then we'll talk about it. So far, the commander has not appeared. It means there are issues. It means they clashed, which isn't surprising, but let's wait for him to speak. Now, good news for Fano is that in Gondar, progress has been made to reconcile commanders of AFPO and AFNF. Daniel, I did not rely on that phone conversation. I did not say it was legit. I did not say that. What I am saying that if nothing happened, by now Fikro should have rejected the allegations. The report about Fikro came 3 days ago. 72 hours have passed and still no word from him. That is why something is fishy. Anyway, so what is happening in Gondar, where it seems that rival Fano commanders have held a meeting? If you remember, I reported a few days ago that efforts were underway to mediate between Dereje Bale, AFPO Fano commander, and AFNF commanders like Haptewolle, etc. And during Wallo operation, uh, we know that Hapte Walde attacked AFNF people, or vice versa, but there was clash between them. And AFNF issued a statement back then, if you remember. AFNF confirmed that Daraj ballet group attacked AFNF people in Gondar during the Wallo operation. AFNF statement is on record. You can see that. It was AFNF which confirmed uh, infighting in Fano, in Gondar. And if you remember, then I told you that a deputy of Daraj ballet had defected. He had left Daraj ballet. And then I reported about two Fano commanders. I said they're mediating, they're trying to solve this issue. Makatao and Zenabao. Zenabao from Gujju, Makatao from Shoa. Today, pictures were released showing Deraj Ballet and an AFNF commander. They were seen hugging. It means that Deraj Ballet has held a meeting with AFNF commanders. Which AFNF commander met with Deraj Ballet? Well, the pictures released today show Samuel Baladil. Samuel Baladil. Samuel Baladil is a Gondar Fano commander, and he is from Amhara National Force, AFNF. You know that AFNF, when it was formed a few months ago, formed a 13-member committee. 13 or 15-member committee. I think it was a 13-member committee. The committee was formed to lead AFNF. Top 13 commanders are part of it, like Tafra Mahmouz, Minekasi, Hapte Volde, Mere Wodajo, Rasalin from Shoa, etc. Samuel Baladil is part of the 13-member committee of AFNF. It means that he is a top AFNF leader, AFNF commander from Gondar. And today we saw him hugging Daraj Ballet, the last major Fano commander in Gondar from Skandar Naga group. Daraj Ballet is from Amhara Fano People's Organization. So AFPO's Daraj Ballet met with AFNF's Samuel Balade. They have reached some understandings, no details shared so far, but Fano sources are saying it's a breakthrough, it's a big news that AFPU and AF commanders have met. Where is Hapte Volde? I think Hapte should have been there. Hapte Volde should have been there in this meeting. If we see Hapte Volde, Massafint, Daraj Ballet, and Samuel Ballet together, for me, that will be a confirmation that they have come to the table and they have solved their issues. So let's wait. We're waiting for some statement by these Gondar Fano commanders. What have they agreed on? Is it initial contact between them, or have they reached a deal? That will have to wait to confirm. Let's wait. And secondly, I think we'll have to see if the deal will be implemented or not. Because these people sometimes unite, and when there is a challenge, they just start killing each other. Beetham says, mediator was Massafint. You don't know the full story. Let the full story come out, then we'll talk about it, Beetham. Let them speak. So far, they haven't issued a statement. They have just released pictures. So let them speak. Then we'll see how AFPO responds, by the way, because Darajabella is part of AFPO. I think that some initial contacts have been established. Otherwise, it's going to be a very tough task for the mediators to unite Fano in Gondar. It's possible, but let's wait. Lastly, viewers, what is happening in Tigray? My Sao says you just show up for a chat to argue with your audience. By the way, you're a nice guy and we love you. I love to interact. I don't think there is anyone who is interacting with viewers the way I do. There is no YouTuber talking to viewers, listening to them, arguing with them, clarifying things, explaining things. I want it to be interactive. That's how I like it. So it's good to talk to people. Now, Tigray was last topic from Tigray, where we know what happened. Since yesterday, Tigray military command, Tigray soldiers have been blocking roads. Army 22, Army 44, then Army 15, Army 33, Army 92, I think, all joined. And today, Pawson, Makale, Degrat, Agula, Vakro road remained blocked almost all day. And just a few hours ago, the road was opened. Major General talked to protesters. They refused to open the road. Yesterday, the protesting soldiers met with representatives of Tigray President Tadesse Zarede. And the protesters, who are soldiers from different units of military, they made three demands. Firstly, they said that Tigray soldiers should have lands for housing. Secondly, they demanded raise in salaries. Thirdly, they talked about suspension of DDR benefits. It is being reported, I reported that too, that federal government of Ethiopia is suspending DDR benefits for demobilized Tigray fighters, and federal government wants these Tigray soldiers to join TPF to claim DDR benefits. These were three demands or three issues raised by Tigray soldiers. What was the response from Tigray military side? Well, firstly, on the issue of lands and housing for Tigray soldiers, the Tigray government replied that those who died during war, they are being given priority when it comes to allotment of lands and housing. So at number one is martyrs, families of martyrs. At number two, injured TDF members. In second phase, they'll be given lands and housing. And at number three is the remaining member, remaining TDF force. This is how Tigray government has prioritized allotment of land and housing. But how transparent is this process? This is the question, by the way. Because there are reports that those people, those Tigray soldiers who are close to TPLF, they're getting lands. On the issue of raise in salaries, reportedly, Tigray government agreed. Tigray government agreed to raise the salaries of soldiers starting from October. How much? I don't know, but the protesters have been promised that their salary will be raised. Third demand was about continuation of DDR benefits. The protesters said that federal government is suspending DDR benefits. And in response to it, Tigray government said that federal government has temporarily suspended DDR benefits because of lack of funds. The issue will be solved. So my report confirmed. I said that federal government was considering suspension of DDR benefits. By the way, why would federal government give DDR benefits to fighters of Tigray while they are being recalled to join their units? While there is a fear of war, uh, every day we see videos showing new TDF members being trained, commando forces being trained by Tigray. Why would federal government spend money on DDR when federal government knows that Tigray commanders are raising a military? They're not disbanding it. They're conducting more recruitments. So I think that the promises have been made. Almost all the demands of the Tigray soldiers have received positive response from the Tigray government. It's going to be difficult to implement these demands, these promises. It's going to be difficult. Tigray needs money. It needs money for everything now because federal government is not supporting Tigray. So how will the government honor its commitments? And lastly, I think the protests of Tigray military are alarming. Alarming for TPLF and Tigray military commanders. I think I should end the live chat. Uh, my father or my mother is calling me. I have to take care of them. See you tomorrow, viewers. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Uh, Hopefully, we'll do a detailed live chat tomorrow about Fano's retreat or withdrawal in Volvo. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Bye bye.